You may have even chanted his last name before.
Some booze.
That's on booze. Those are for Tommy Loose.
Or maybe you've seen that video, Getting Loose with Tommy Loose.
Now what we're gonna do is something I like to call
Each guy shoots a certain percentage from three-point range. But how does that percentage change based on what other 4 players are on the court with him? And what if you go from 4 out, 1 in to 3 out, 2 in? These are all questions the Purdue coaching staff now believes it has the answer to.
There were a few guys out on the field warming up a few minutes ago, which was a good sign, but the PA announcer just came on and said there was lightning spotted within 10 miles of the stadium. Everybody was forced to clear the field. That is not a good sign. 3rd straight season McCutcheon and Twin Lakes have opened the softball season against one another. McCutcheon won the last 2 of those, so they'll try to repeat that here tonight. I'll step out of frame here. I know you'd probably rather watch the softball game than look at me for 20 or 30 seconds. And this may be a bit of a hot take, but I think it was sort of the game Purdue needed to play in order to win tonight.
And not say it was targeting.
Take a look slow motion at this call. What really speaks to targeting for me, and I know targeting has become almost subjective in a way, but what really speaks to targeting for me is that the player lowers his helmet, leads with the crown, and hits David Blau in the helmet. You've got to try to slow down the pace of the basketball game. Get Louisville in half-court sets. Second of all, you've got to play clean offense. No silly turnovers. If I had told you one day ago Khalil Tate would throw 4 touchdowns in just the first 3 quarters of this game, you would have called me crazy. He threw 9 touchdowns the entire regular season. We come out here and cover games all the time. We talk about X's and O's. We talk about stats. We talk about who wins and loses the game. But at the end of the day, man, what you just saw there, that's what it's all about. We're just one day away from finding out who is crowned champion of this year's Hoops Classic. But of course, to play for a title tomorrow night, you first have to win tonight. Arizona's safeties tend to creep up and help in run support. That leaves some lanes open deep down the field. And Jeff Brom said to us about a week ago that he would like to get an early lead, maybe hit something deep early in the game, force Arizona into some uncomfortable passing situations. It's a brand new early signing period, as you mentioned. It started this morning at 7 a.m. and runs through Friday.
Out of all those thousands and thousands of games, he said this one was one of the best. Purdue and Indiana down at Bart Kaufman Field in Bloomington. Indiana, the number 11 team in the country, but the Boilers with a chance to take this series. Hardly even squares up. I mean, she's way out there if you can't tell. Several feet outside the 3-point arc, and with that, it's an 8-point game. Coach Salih.
You throw in a bank shot from 40 feet.
Let me get my stopwatch out here. All right, from the moment it hits Barrett's hands to the moment it goes in the basket, wait for it, yeah, 3.8 seconds, so not even a 4-second long possession. Late in the game now, under 20 left, Purdue by 2. Dakota Mathias, clutch 3, puts Purdue up 5 points. Asked after the game if that was the biggest shot of his life, here's what he said.
Absolutely.
What second?
I don't know right now. This is 1, 2, and 3.
All right, now Butler would cut it to 3 and have a chance to tie it at the end, but the shot won't go, and Purdue wins the game 76-73. Riley Ewan, a senior on Tri-County's team, tore his ACL in November. He's been out all season, just left to watch. Tri-County up 16 with under a minute left in the game, and they call a timeout here. And that guy who tore his ACL, Riley Ewan, well, Benton Central allows Tri-County to put him in here. First shot of the game from the corner here. Swish. Money. Torn ACL, no problem. Tri-County wins the game 69-53, okay? But that shot, that's bigger than any score of any game.
Oh, that meant so much.
They don't have a good record. They've lost 14 games, but 7 of those 14 games have come by single digits. Now, their most recent loss came in double overtime at Sheridan, so the ball just not bouncing the right way for them. It's senior night in Gopher Country, but not so fast. Thanks to Alabama's win over Auburn, Purdue now has the nation's longest active winning streak. Purdue and Auburn each had 14 straight wins before last night. So now Purdue holds that title all to itself. So, all right, as a coach, what do you say to your team when you won 14 straight games and you got the longest active streak in the country? Well, Purdue's Matt Painter, he's got a lot of praise for his guys, but hey, there's always room for improvement, right?
Bad things are happening when you're winning, and good things will happen when you lose.
McCutcheon, the only undefeated team in NCC play this season, 9-0, but hey, that's done now. Put a check mark by that. The Mavericks looking to win their 9th straight game here late in the regular season. Caleb Biggie Swanigan recalled yesterday back to Portland by the Trailblazers. The rookie sent down to the Canton Charge of the NBA's G League back in December, where he played in 14 games, 12 of those starts. Hey, he averaged 14 points a game to go with 11 boards, so a vintage Biggie double-double each time he stepped on the floor for Canton. The West Side just dropping threes all over the place. Kylie Martin here from the corner. RDP, check it out, 9 of 13 from three-point range. That's almost 70%. Coach Jane's shot on that hot shooting.
Some kids that can knock it down, so I felt that they took great shots tonight.
They can run the floor, they can hit their shots. How do you keep them out of rhythm, especially an athletic team like that?
Well, they've got a ton of great pieces.
How about this draw for the Logansport sectional? The two teams with losing records get the byes. That's Logansport and Kokomo.
What can you tell us about Arizona?
Well, first of all, they are a high-powered offensive football team. That's really where it's all centered for Arizona. They put up about 41 points a game, and check this out. They run for 324 yards per game. That's insane. For reference, that's third best in the entire country behind just Army and Navy. Of the thousands of shots we take, sometimes we remember just one. Just like sometimes one moment can define a lifetime.
I think I said I have some bad news and said it, and I remember not believing what I was saying.
Things don't always go our way, but a champion is never defeated. Your everyday 8th grader, Charlie Smart, a shooting guard on the Tecumseh Junior High basketball team.
Definitely an outside shooter, good ball handler. He's good at breaking my ankles, as he says.
Hey, out of bounds. Under the basket, out of bounds.
Until recently, when he came down sick.
Stomach pains, migraines nonstop. I couldn't do my work. That's really it. I just couldn't pay attention.
At first, they thought it was a cold, maybe even the flu.
He was like, I'm starving, but I can't get myself to eat.
It was at one of Charlie's basketball games in late November. They realized it was something more serious.
He was slower than everyone else to get up and down the court each time, and I did notice he was pulling at his side and stuff. But yeah, so everything about that night wasn't typical.
A couple games he has to come out early, which to me was a little bit surprising. But now that I look back on it, it could be that this disease was kind of wearing on him.
Come here. Just days later, Charlie was diagnosed with ALL T-cell leukemia.
I was in shock. They saw me, I just kind of like sat there and stared.
What went through your mind at that time?
Everything.
In the United States, there are about 2,500 to 3,000 children each year will have leukemia. The type that Charlie has, there's truly only been a handful over the past 30, 40 years that have been identified like this.
The rare form of cancer.
I think it took a while for it to finally hit. Do you think that's right?
A diagnosis they'll never forget hearing.
But since then, it's been just amazing how much support comes out of every angle.
Everybody's doing their best to support him and everything that he's going through, and just to make sure he gets through all this.
The t-shirts worn by rivals Lafayette, Jeff, and McCutcheon to bring awareness to Charlie's illness. The Facebook page Charlie's Champions, and a basketball signed by the entire Indiana basketball team. The support goes on. It goes on just like Tecumseh's basketball season, even without Charlie on the floor.
It was always nice when he was around. He gave this team our vibe.
Turns out though, he still does that, whether he knows it or not.
Broncos on three. 1, 2, 3, Broncos!
Every game we do is for Charlie.
He now spends most of his time at Riley Children's Hospital, taking his best shot at cancer.
He's definitely my hero right now. Charlie is. Just the way he's handled this has been amazing to me.
One thing a hero always has is hope.
Well, the hope is that we're going to be able to make the leukemia go away completely and never come back.
So if it's moments that define us,
Kind of just be grateful, live life.
Charlie's moment
That's really it.
is not the diagnosis, but rather the victory he's fighting for.
I know he's a really tough guy. I know he got this.
You don't need victory, though, to be a champion. After all, Charlie already has hundreds of those. In Indianapolis, Caleb NOE, Sports 18.
Dear Ben,
Woven into these pages is a story.
I hope everything at home is going okay.
The story of a brotherhood and a baseball season.
I hope to hear about how regionals is going and how it went.
A season still partially unwritten. Unwritten and unread.
He doesn't know anything about semi-state just yet. Once I get this letter to him, though, I'm sure he'll be happy. So when will he find out that you won semi-state? Shoot, I don't know. I mean, 2 or 3 days after I send the letter. I mean, I might send it tomorrow or whenever, but it'll take several days before he gets to read it. We didn't get his return address until Saturday.
There are 2 Rodkey brothers on the Rossville baseball team.
He doesn't know that we won semi-state.
Twins.
Every picture we took, we were together, and every team we were on, we were together.
But you'll only see one in a Hornets uniform Saturday.
He signed up for the Army National Guard, and he chose to go to Fort Benning, Georgia.
Ray Rodkey left Rossville at the end of the school year for boot camp and won't be back until August. His only form of communication until then,
Dear Ray,
these letters.
I just finally got to start this letter today, so it's probably going to be the longest letter that I send you because I'm going to tell you about regionals and semi-state. I miss you very much and I'm very proud of you, and I wish that you could be here for everything that is happening with the baseball team.
Ray Rodkey wants nothing more than to protect his country.
That's something that I'm very proud of him for doing. I mean, I wish he was here, but I couldn't be more proud of him.
But past that, for his team to bring home a state title.
He doesn't know anything, so he just said, you know, good luck, I hope you guys do well, and he's rooting for us.
We'll know Saturday how that turns out. Ray will find out next week. But one thing we all know, he and his hometown already have something to be proud of.
I hope to hear back from you soon. I love you and I miss you, bro. Love, Ray.
In Rossville, Caleb NOE, Sports 18.
Morning.
Good morning.
Digging the hair.
Yep, it'll be back in a while.
Good seeing you.
August 14th.
Good.
I'm Ray.
Mr. Bolser.
Mr. Bolser, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Just another first day of school together for the Rodkey twins. Ben and Ray both seniors on the Rossville baseball team. But as you may recall, only one of them, Ben, got to experience the Hornets' run to the state championship game this past June. Ray was far from home.
He signed up for the Army National Guard, and he chose to go to Fort Benning, Georgia.
That's part of a News 18 story from June 16th.
Dear Ben,
the Rodkey brothers spent all summer writing letters back and forth.
I hope everything at home is going okay.
Many of those about the baseball team.
I hope to hear about how regionals is going and how it went. I really wish I could have been there to see it. I mean, I saw pictures of people's facial expressions, and I saw my jersey sitting on the bench and then the baseball that was supposed to represent me, and I just missed it all.
We've always done everything together. So to miss an experience like that together, it was just, it took a little while for me to transition, it was kind of emotional.
Yes. What is up, man? Oh, nothing much, dude.
Hey, this is yours.
What's going on? I'm liking the. Oh, nice.
Rossville lost in the state championship game on June 17th.
You gotta go back for you now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
But fortunately for the Rodkey brothers, there is still one more shot.
Look who it is.
Their senior year.
Hi, Parker. How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Forever. Yeah, I haven't seen you either. Uh-oh, there she is.
A senior year.
Hi, Tori.
Unlike the summer.
Happy belated birthday. Sorry I couldn't come see you last night.
They'll spend.
Hi, Ray. What's up?
Together.
You never realize how much you miss him until you can't be with him. What's up, man? There he is, right there.
What happened to your
Good. They shave it off.
Yeah, what are you gonna try to figure out a schedule?
Yeah, I think I need to figure out where I'm supposed to go.